Back here live at the Waterfront Village with my friend, the zombie, Jonathan. You're looking good. Jonathan just got an awesome face paint job. What do you think?
I make turtles.
It's now time for Big D Energy with four-time Stanley Cup champ Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neil Rule. Live on the Woodward Sports Network, 99.1 and 93.5 The Roar, the Woodward Sports app, and anywhere you listen to podcasts. Let's talk some sports. It's Big D Energy.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another week of Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neil Rule. D-Mac is out on business today, so you know who we go to. Uncle Terry. Terry Foster is in the house, Detroit sports media icon. Stole the show in the Pistons 30 for 30 on the Bad Boys. We got Sawyer on brand. He's flanneled up. Day number 6 of 365 consecutive work days in a flannel.
You know that's a lie. Only 6 days in a row he's worn a flannel shirt. That's 360 days in a row. That's baloney.
No, he cracked about a week ago and put on like a sweater like a regular civilian, Terry. And we're trying to work with them here on marketing and promoting the brand. And Sam Flannel is the brand. Like, that is the brand. Point blank, period, end of story. So he's got to stay on brand. And we got him rolling. So he committed, Terry, 365 straight days of wearing a flannel.
They don't have flannel sweaters? Because it had to be really cold for him to get out of his flannel.
Well, Sawyer told him today, he said when summer rolls around, you take the flannel and you cut the sleeves off a couple of them, and you come in like that. You know, the full access to the gun show.
Let me step in. You cannot have a flannel short sleeve shirt.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't. Just like you can't have a short sleeve dress shirt. Only dorks wear those. And I don't want my man to be a dork over here.
No, dude, Sam Flannel's got too much game for that.
No. If he has a short sleeve flannel shirt,
Sam Flannel can pull it off, Terry. If anybody in this world can pull off a short sleeve flannel, it's Sam Flannel.
He should be fired if he wears it.
No, I think he should get a raise. How about that, Terry Foster?
We're going to have to disagree.
Okay, well, we'll see. Put it on the poll, Sawyer. Can you have a short? Can you have a sleeveless flannel or a short sleeve flannel?
You can have a sleeveless one if you got guns. I've seen that. And
okay.
That's the tough guys.
Would we support Sam Flannel wearing a sleeveless flannel in the summertime? I think we would.
No, he can't wear the short sleeve. He can wear sleeveless, but short sleeve,
I think he can wear a short. Can you do a short sleeve flannel?
I mean, if you got a pair of scissors and an imagination, you can do anything, right?
It's America. You can do anything.
I think that Sam Flannel can pull off a short sleeve flannel. If anybody could, it's him. Hello to everybody, though, on our YouTube channel, tapping in. I see you guys jumping in that comment section already. Detroit Dabber, first one in. Congratulations to you. 95% of the time, he's first in every time. But what flannel is more acceptable, the short sleeve or the sleeveless? So there you have it. We'll get that. Get your thoughts on that. Listen on radio 93.5 The Roar, 94.7 HD2, 99.1 FM as well. Our Twitter handles are on the screen. However you want to get involved in the show, we will get you involved in the show. And I think it was, Terry, it was kind of a classic football-less weekend this weekend, right? A little more eyeballs on the Red Wings. A little more eyeballs on the Pistons.
Football. There was a football game this weekend. I was going to say, where the hell have you been?
No, don't worry. The USFL. Don't worry. The USFL is coming, and everybody's going to watch for about 2 weeks, and then they'll fall off. We covered that before. I took some heat for that. But Terry, you look at what happened with the Red Wings game. They lost by a field goal to Toronto. They needed a couple more rouges, and they would have been right in there. The Pistons, though, they finally beat the Hornets. Like, they hadn't beat them in 5 years? The Hornets. Right. Which is kind of weird. We'll get into all that as well. I know a lot of people, draft talk always works. We'll talk a little bit of baseball, I think, at some point also. Overtime rules in the NFL. So we got all that. We are going to talk about the Russian-Ukraine thing because it is starting to spill over into the sports world. And there are a couple of thoughts that I had. It's good that we have T-Foss here because I have a couple of journalistic integrity questions about some of your fellow journalists out there,
And I love answering them.
I know you do. I know you do. Don't forget, too, the Our Detroit magazine, Best of Detroit. You can do a straight Woodward ticket in that section. D-Max up for social influencer. T-Foss for one of the best columnists in Detroit. I'm in there for sports broadcasting as well. So I don't know if they have the option where you can just like click Woodward ticket and it auto fills in all the Woodward stuff, but maybe you'll have to go in and fill them all in yourself. But feel free to do that. But happy to have you guys with us here today. And people talking about Mike says sleeveless flannel is cool, especially if you're a lumberjack or you're going foaling.
Oh, man. For the record, there is a 0% chance I'll wear a sleeveless flannel. I don't have the guns for that. You need to have, like, real, like, guns, and I just don't have them yet. Maybe
you need to be a lumberjack.
Yeah, maybe if I work out for a few months and, like, really, really hit it hard, but I don't see myself wearing a sleeveless flannel.
Now, could you overcome the lack of guns if you had a burly beard? I feel like you could.
No, but if you have the burly beard, you usually have the gun.
You do.
When have you ever seen a dude with a burly beard and little bird arms?
I mean, some hipsters nowadays kind of are rocking that look. So, I mean, so are you know.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of hipsters out there with that big burly beard and their little scrawny arms, but yeah, hey, I think cut those sleeves off, man. You know, go to Planet Fitness, get your pump on, maybe hit that tanning booth up, go to Chili Peppers. You'd be Australian gold.
Okay.
You'd be looking like the man come summertime.
Hey, and using all the sponsors here, man. Oh, yeah, I think that might be my plan.
Use your network, Sam Flannel.
Yep.
Use your network.
All right, yep. My goal, if I can get one day in a sleeveless flannel and make it not look ridiculous, maybe that should be my goal, at least one day.
He's got arms like Kelly Stafford, so I don't know if it's going to work.
Gator Raider says Sam Flannel has that swag. He can pull it off. And I'm with you on that one. I think you can, Sam. Don't listen to T-Foss.
Well, thank you very much. For all those who think I can, I really appreciate you guys. You especially, Neil.
All right, cool, man. Yeah, let's go. So we got all that we're going to get into. T-Foss Oak Tree at Northland Mall sold flannels. Can you confirm?
That is true. Oak Tree did. Oak Tree's... Whatever was the trend, that's what they would sell.
Yeah. Yeah, but we are going to get into we'll get into everything that is going on. Lewis M says if you have a mullet, you can pull off a scrawny arm sleeveless flannel. So see, that's what I feel like. If you have the beard or you have, the Kentucky waterfall or what have you, if you have those tools, I think they do allow you to pull it, even if you have small arms.
Okay. Well, he's got that little down home next door look.
I do.
So I don't know if that's going to work with him. He's got to get his hair all spiked and ready to go.
How was your weekend, Terry?
It was interesting. It was very good and very tragic at the same time. But mostly it was cool because I got to hang out with a friend of mine. Hadn't seen in a while. Her name was Buns, and we had a couple margaritas. Just a little day drinking. So that's cool.
You're the day drinking king, aren't you, Terry?
I am. Because if I go out at night, I'm in the bed by 9:30 anyway, so I may as well get started early.
I know. I do love the day drinking vibe with T-Foss. I highly recommend people get that experience to go day drinking with T-Foss.
Oh, yeah.
It's a treat. It is.
It better be. Hey, if I'm not a treat, then I shouldn't go drinking.
Right. No, but it is a good time. Detroit Dabber 313, is that a Fire Festival t-shirt, Neil? Yes, it is. See? So there we go. Great logo. Fire Festival logo.
Okay. Where's the Fire Festival? Is this a tree, or is this a clothing line?
That was the greatest party that never was, T-Foss. I don't know if you've ever saw the documentary on Netflix. I do recommend checking it out.
I'm behind on everything around here. Stick came in talking about some great singer I never heard of. I never heard of the Fire Festival. Never heard of short sleeve flannels.
Right.
I need to get out of the house.
We'll get some story time, too, with T-Foss, where, you guys know how it works. Choose your own adventure. We'll do that. That'll come up in the second hour of the show. We'll give T-Foss some time to cook up a couple of them. T-Foss now does these story times with agendas now, too. They become narrative-based, like the stories he wants to tell. He'll stack it up against another story. I like the way you do that now, Terry.
Okay. All right, smooth.
Yeah. So I know we're good with that. We got the poll going out. Which flannel's more acceptable, the short sleeve or the sleeveless? 50-50, Terry. See, I think you sold.
That's not going to hold up.
I think you sold the short sleeve flannel a little short.
I guess. Well, I tell you what short sleeve you can't wear. The short sleeve dress shirt is a no-go. Definitely.
It can if you're working in accounting.
Nah, yeah, but that means you're a nerd. That means nobody wants to hang out with you.
Yeah, so people do. They want to hear T-Foss stories, so you know that we're going to get to that. And Mike also wants to know, T-Foss, should the Lions take Hutchinson or Buns with their first pick? Which one?
Take Hutchinson and leave Buns alone. Buns is busy with a lot of other stuff.
Let the Lions get that, though. But, Terry, so like we talked about, weekend here, Michigan lost to Illinois. Michigan State got a win over Purdue. And I know what your adage is on this, that this is not a college basketball city.
It's not.
And you have years of data that suggests that. But I understand that.
It's not one until March. How about that?
Okay, that's fair. But if things don't turn around for Michigan, there ain't going to be a March.
I know, but people don't care. They don't care if Michigan makes a tournament or not. Because it's just not top of mind. But they're not. They're going to be in the NIT. So get ready for that first round game between Michigan and Bradley. That should be fun.
in the NIT, I'm sure they'll roll out too, right?
Let's all meet in Ann Arbor.
Well, because Michigan basketball fans, they've proven they're very loyal and they will show up for their team.
Okay, sure.
That 9 o'clock. That 9 o'clock Thursday tip at Chrysler,
right,
where they black out the upper deck.
You know what they're doing? I've noticed the West Coast games are being played earlier now.
Yes,
because I'm like, damn, I'm watching USC in Oregon, and it's like it's 10:30, and it's like it's 4 minutes left in the game. This is usually when you start.
Yeah. Lot to talk about the Firefest documentaries right now. YT Sparty says, just a hint, I'm leaving because I don't want to hear a conversation about shirts. Well, YT Sparty, you're a valuable member of this community, I like to think. But, if you want to move on, okay.
See you.
We'll be here. We'll be here when you get back, man. We'll be here when you get back. But, yeah, so we're going to talk about that, the Red Wings, obviously. But when we do come back, I do want to get into this whole... Not the political part of it, not the war breakdown part of it, not the militaristic strategies and everything like that, but the whole Russia-Ukraine situation starting to spill into sports right now. And I have a bit of an issue with some of the journalists. I think they're putting people in an unfair spot, and they're doing it just for self-glory and self-promotion. When did things change with journalists? When did it become about them, Terry?
Well, we're taught in J school it should never be about you.
Right.
But I think there's been a societal change, and
fair.
When it used to be, give me the information. That's the most important thing. But that's no longer the case, because if you are calm, if you don't have anything bombastic to say, guess what? People turn you off. But then if you're, acting like an ass, screaming and throwing your heart, then they're like, all right, I'm going to check this guy out. That's when it changed. And this has been the case, I'd say, about 10, 15 years.
So right with the advent of social media.
Could be, right.
Really weird how that turned things around. No, but we do want to discuss. I think a couple of things haven't been fair. And since we have Terry here as a resource, curious to get your guys' thoughts as well. But here's a thought, too. If you're going to be betting on sports, mybookie.ag is the play. They'll double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000 with the promo code Woodward. And that's cool. That's fun. Everybody likes that stuff. Here's the angle, though. The website, the interface is clean. It's smooth. It's easy to read. Everything moves quickly. And look, you're betting on sports. Where you're betting is almost as important as who you're betting on, because it makes the experience enjoyable. It lets you get those bets in a timely fashion. And mybookie.ag has things running smooth. Oh, by the way, too, double your first deposit up to $1,000 with the promo code Woodward. That is important. Don't get me wrong. If you want to throw your money away betting on NASCAR, you can do that with this clown NASCAR setup that they have, where they go to these tracks and the cars just run into the wall on their own for no apparent reason. Which, Sawyer, you're going to answer. You're going to answer for that.
Oh yeah, I'll answer for it.
That was a clown show. So between Daytona and never mind, I'm talking about mybookie.ag. We'll get to that when we come back. But mybookie.ag, double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000, and you are in there. As I talked about, great website, clean interface, everything's easy to read, and you can roll out with mybookie.ag. Got the Masters coming up, baseball at some point, maybe May, June, July, who knows? But baseball will be back eventually. You're going to be watching the games anyway. May as well get down on it. Do it with mybookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. Have a problem with gambling? Call the Problem Gambling Helpline, 1-800-270-7117.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Your Detroit alternative to the normal sports blah, blah, blah. It's Woodward Sports.
Off and running, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule. Terry Foster in for DMAC here today, so our Stanley Cup count went down by 4. We have Sam Flannel, so our flannel, total flannel count did go up, as a matter of fact. Sam Flannel, again, on brand. Day number 6 of 365 consecutive work days of flannel. He is there. He has embraced the challenge, and he is here as well. We have Sawyer, who's trying to run around and apologize for that atrocity that was the NASCAR race yesterday. You guys are making... I'm trying. Sawyer, I'm giving you an honest effort.
You are?
I'm tapping into the races, all right? I'm trying. And I'm seeing just total crapshoots every week. You got cars drifting off, hitting the wall for no reason. You got teammates putting each other into the wall. And Kyle Larson, by the way, he needs to understand Chase Elliott's the brand, all right? It's because of Chase Elliott that Larson even has a job. So do the right thing. Make sure the brand wins. As Terry said, you can finish 5th. You still get a nice check.
That's right. And everybody's happy.
And everybody's happy.
You know what you should do? Don't watch NASCAR until June.
Oh, is that what it is? Is that when it starts for real?
Because they don't know how to drive yet. They're still trying to figure stuff out.
But, Terry, I was told Daytona's the Super Bowl of racing.
I know.
And they do it at the beginning.
The fact that you have Daytona to begin the season is a little bit backwards.
Now, we'll get into it.
A little bit stupid, but that's okay.
I'm going to pepper, we're going to do a segment on it. I'm going to pepper Sawyer with some questions about this stupid crap that I'm seeing out there. Rack says, I'm more upset that I tuned Fox on at 7:30 and there was no Simpsons. It's still NASCAR, SMH.
Yeah, Animation Domination got put on hold last night, but it was worth it.
It did. I did want to touch on this, and to some degree, I guess it's serious, and given the nature of the situation, certainly we all know, we all saw what happened over the weekend with the Russia-Ukraine thing that's going on. And it's seeped over into the sports world now, and the International Olympic Committee has chimed in. FIFA has taken some half-hearted measures. That's how you know it's an official issue, when the International Olympic Committee and FIFA come in with half-hearted measures, Terry. That's when you know something's going on.
Right, because they never stand up for what's right. But
no,
go ahead.
No, they never do any of that. My concern's more on the journalistic side, and we're turning into this whole, let's run to the Russian athletes and get their thoughts. And Alex Ovechkin was in the news, and Alex Ovechkin, who is Russian, Terry, I don't know if people know that or not, from Russia. On his social media profiles, he has a picture of him with Putin, who is the president of his country. Which, okay, we all feel a certain kind of way now about Putin and about Russia and things like that. But Alex Ovechkin got asked point blank by a journalist on Saturday. He's there, Capitals getting ready to play, and point blank, the journalist asked him, do you support the invasion of the Ukraine? And Ovechkin said, please, no more war. It doesn't matter who's in the war, Russia, Ukraine, different countries. We have to live in peace and a great world. And asked about his past support of Putin. He said, he's my president. I'm not into politics. I'm an athlete. And Terry, my problem isn't in his response. That's probably what I would have said too. Guys, look, I'm a hockey player, man. I play hockey here in America, trying to win a Stanley Cup. That's what I do. My issue with it was just the question, and we don't have the audio of the question, but the tone of the question. It was like this journalist couldn't wait to ask him, do you support the invasion of the Ukraine? Like, what? That's not fair to me, Terry, because that's not his world. You know what I'm saying? Am I overreacting to this?
He's from that world. He's dealt with that president. He goes back to Russia. Some way, somehow, that story needs to be told. What does Alex Ovechkin believe in with the war in Russia and Ukraine? So I'm not saying it's a major story, but it's a good sidebar. There's a bunch of athletes who want to talk about what's happening in their home countries because they can help, and maybe Ovechkin can help the situation in Russia. So I believe that question should have been asked. Maybe not as snarky as it was asked, but I understand why they went there. Because, here in the United States, we have a lot of issues that we talk about that doesn't apply to sports. But that question gets asked. Sometimes the athlete speaks on it, and you get a good story. So I think that's what they were trying to do. What is Alex Ovechkin, who's from Russia, who is taking photos with Vladimir Putin? Is he going to go against his president, or is he going to support him?
See, and I think this is too, and I'm hopeful, I think, that we're starting to realize and we're starting to learn, Terry, because we are last to this party all the time, where I think we're starting to learn and realize that the way we live life isn't the way everybody gets to live life, Terry. I think that's really being driven home over the course of this last weekend.
Oh, yeah. I don't see soldiers and tanks going down the street, and I don't see flannel with a gun pointing at them.
Right.
That doesn't happen here, thank God.
Right, and I think we're starting to realize that to some degree. And I think it's accurate. Tammy Chin brought that up, too, where, he's got family in Russia, and things work differently there than they do here. That's just the way that it is. So I think that we're having American expectations of him and how he should respond, if he should respond. I think we have very American expectations of a Russian person. I don't think it's fair, man.
Well, I don't think we have those expectations. If you really cover sports and understand sports, even with the mundane questions, you don't get the right answer. So I don't expect these guys to tell me the truth all the time. So, and I understand, yes, he has family over there. In other countries, if you say something wrong, they're going to grab grandmama and pappy and everything. So, but you can remedy that by a right answer. You can support Putin to a certain extent because you're worried, or you can shade your answer.
But you can't. I feel like you can't do that here, Terry. I think that with the way we are, if he says that, because I've noticed people have taken issue with the Putin's a president of my country part of it. Mm-hmm. I don't think we can relate here. We're very, we tend to be very narrow-minded, I think.
No, that's true.
And we think the way we do it is the way everybody does it.
Athletes learn how to answer a question without answering it. They just talk, and when you look back on it, say, damn, my brother didn't say anything. So that's, and maybe he can't do that because of the language barrier. He's not as adapt to that as many athletes are. But at some point, if you are a journalist in Washington and you have multimedia people in there, at some point you're going to want to know, what does my star Russian player think about what's going on in Russia, in Ukraine? That's just the way we work as journalists.
I could tell, though, again, from the audio, like, she couldn't wait to ask that question, though. You know what I'm saying?
I need to see the audio.
Yeah, we'll get you the audio at some
sometimes.
point. What do you mean?
You're just mischievous. How about that?
Charles McLean, people talking about what Ovechkin says, but not what Hasek says. Oh, we're going to get to that, too. Don't worry, we're going to get to that, too. And that's, Hasek won a cup here, so it might hit different with people here. But he had some statements. He had some thoughts, too, where Hasek came out and he said that the NHL must immediately suspend the contracts of all Russian players. Every athlete represents not only himself and his club, but also the country and the values and actions. That is a fact. If the NHL does not do so, it has indirect co-responsibility for the dead in the Ukraine. And also had some very choice words about Ovechkin personally as well. And he called him a chicken blank and also a liar. Every adult in Europe knows well that Putin is a mad killer and that Russia is waging an offensive war against the free country and its people. The NHL must immediately suspend the contracts of the NHL players, and then went on to the tweet that I just referenced right there. I think that's a little much, Terry. I feel like we're going freedom fries here on everybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think suspending Russian hockey players from the NHL I think that's a little much, Terry.
No, it's enough. But, here's the thing people don't want to talk. When you look at this country, the United States, some of the stuff we do, you could talk about suspending American contracts in France or Italy or somewhere else. So everybody's an individual. I don't think Ovechkin or any of the other Russian players are scheming to overthrow Ukraine. And think about how that statement would play here in Detroit a few years ago if we had the Russian Five. People would be up in arms. Then that means you have to stop Sergei Fedorov, all the other Russians from playing. So you would get rid of like a quarter of the Red Wings team because of what happened in Ukraine. That would be asinine, in my opinion.
Right. And I know everybody has thoughts on what's going on. I have thoughts, you have thoughts, everything like that. I think we're taking it a little bit too far here with the get rid of the Russian players and all that.
Well, that's one person said that.
I know, but it's a sentiment that was echoed, Terry. That people we are going freedom fries on a lot of stuff.
Okay, but everything is echoed in the world. I could sit up here and say, everybody should walk around just in their underwear out in the streets in the winter. And you know what? It would be echoed.
Yeah. And I am seeing, too, like Tammy says, I don't agree with Hasek. These players have nothing to do with what's going on over there. Steve Brown said Hasek is wrong with that quote. And that's really where I shade towards also. And we don't, again, anybody that's critical for them not talking about it, you don't know because you don't understand that world. I don't understand what it's like to live in Russia. You don't understand what it's like to live in Russia. We don't know. You never been to Russia?
Never been to Russia. Now, the one thing I would do if I was Russian and they actually implemented the Hasek rule, I would just become an American citizen. I'm not from, I was from Russia, but I'm one of y'all now.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, just circling back on it, it's getting a little aggressive. And I do have a problem with the journalist angle of it. And again, it was the tone more, and we'll get that audio for you, Terry.
Would you not, if you're not an editor, but you would not pursue that story? Would you just say, forget about it?
Well, what do you expect's going to happen? What do you think he's going to stand up there and say, yes, I hope we roll the tanks down the street of Kiev, and I hope we destroy the city. And if there's any children's hospitals, I hope we bomb them first.
Or he might say, I don't like what's happening over there. It's a tragedy. I'm with the Ukrainian people. Or he might say nothing. But you don't, when you pursue a story, you're not going to hit 100% of the time. There's going to be people who don't want to talk about things, but you have to try to get an answer out of them, particularly a high-profile guy like Ovechkin. Like if it was Vladimir Smitherman who gets 2 minutes of ice time a night, who cares? You let Vladimir go and live his life.
Charles says it's not right to punish Russian athletes because of their country's government, but that's the world we are living in today. And I guess that's the shortcut way of getting to where I am with it. That's you're going to pay. Like Ovechkin's going to pay because he's Russian. And even though they don't, he's here playing hockey, man. That's it. I enjoy watching. Like, this won't change. Like, should I feel guilty because it won't change for me that I still enjoy watching Ovechkin play hockey? I like the Russian brand of hockey that they play.
But you do realize in this country, he is going to get some
pushback, yeah.
Yeah, pushback just because he's Russian, more than he gets. Now, when you go on the road, yes, you get booed, yes, you get jeered, but he's going to face more of that because he's Russian now at this point of his life.
Right. And Dabber brings up a good point. I've been to the Czech Republic, have family there, family who were forced to serve in the Soviet army after having their homeland invaded. It's important to see this from the Czech view of Hasek. And that is true, too. And that goes back to more, we don't have an understanding of how this works. in terms of the reality. Like we don't get that. And when you bring it up and I say it and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. You do hear about the tensions and stuff like that. I guess the overriding moral of my story here, Terry, is we don't live the way a lot of other people live, but we like to interject our thoughts on it like we understand when we don't. That's what I'm saying. You can't be mad at Ovechkin, or even to Steve's point, like you can't be mad even at Hasek for saying that kind of stuff. We don't know. Like if you wanted to cripple our nation, shut down the Starbucks and disable the iTunes store, we wouldn't know how to act over here. Like that's all it would take.
Yeah, it's true. But also Ovechkin has to understand that to a certain extent he has to live the American way. He's playing here, he's getting paid here, he's living here. So some of our values will have to be pushed upon him at some point. It's up to him to learn how to deal with that. Because we're not going to let you live in America and then just live the Russian way. Like, we don't even like it when people don't speak English. We get mad at them.
I know, right?
And it could be two Hispanic people talking to each other in Spanish, and you get people around there like, what the hell are they doing? So we put our values on people whether we like to or not. It's not right. I'm not saying it's right. It is not right. We shouldn't do that. But that's the way we do it.
Well, if you're going to go work out, I know what the people should do, Terry. Here at the Planet Fitness Studios, I know what they should do.
They should go to the Planet Fitness and have a good time there. Planet Fitness, they don't want all your money. They're not taking your money. $10 to join. Or you can have the Neil Rule Black Card for $22.95 a month. Black Card members enjoy the tanning booths, hydro massage, the massage chairs, and total body enhancement. Now, the main thing to me is the hydro massage. Every time I work out at the Planet Fitness, afterwards I'm a little bit sore because I'm old now. So I go to the hydro massage, and those little sprays of water go up and down your back to your neck to your thighs and everything. It makes everything feel good. So when you leave, you feel like, yeah, I didn't even work out today because I feel pretty good now. But join today online at planetfitness.com. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness near you. I have 1 mile from me and 3.5 miles from me. So, and sometimes I even walk there. Now they have a Planet Fitness at the Midtown Detroit Pistons Performance Center. So you can go and hang out with Kate Cunningham and get your workout in. Right now, $0 down, $10 a month, Planet Fitness. It's a good place to go. And Tuesdays, get those bagels.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome. Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device. Neil Rule here for Chili Peppers Tanning, the place where we find the cleanest salons in the D with spotless sanitized rooms, trained and certified tanning professionals as well. Join the Pepper Club. Get all the best deals. They'll beat all the competitors by $5. They got Australian Gold, Designer Skin, Caltan, Swedish Beauty Lotions as well. ChiliPeppersTanning.com on the web. They got the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans. They are your vitamin D headquarters. 26 locations and more coming. We were out at their brand new one in Berkeley. Spotless, that is a good word for it. Chili Peppers Tanning. They're the best in the game. Go get your tan on at Chili Peppers Tanning. Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, Terry Foster here in the house with you. We got Sam Flannel. We got Sawyer as well. Mike G in our YouTube chat thread wants to know, Sawyer, could you drive an Indy car and push some of the Russian tanks into the wall?
Ooh. Maybe, I don't know about the tanks. Maybe someone like the armored trucks, though. Maybe have a chance with that.
Yeah.
Tank would be a little much for an Indy car. But maybe those new NASCARs, though. Those are pretty beefy.
I know. They keep running into the wall for no reason. Why is that?
I mean, honestly, just watching the race yesterday, they just need to repave that track.
It's two
so
things.
bumpy, man. It was
being a
horrible.
competitor and being stupid.
Well,
or as we call them, stupid competitors.
Stupid competitors. How are they running a NASCAR race on the Lodge downtown?
Yeah, I don't know. It kind of confused me. It's like sometimes with NASCAR, they won't repave the tracks to keep them a little bumpy just to make the racing better or something, but that was just way too out of control. I mean, you had guys bumping up and down on the backstretch, and then even in qualifying, there was a bump in turns 3 and 4 that wrecked 5 cars in the last session of qualifying. Like, you can't have that, and then you got people just going off and running into the wall during the race. Like, it's bad.
Let me ask you this. When do we get to a race that's like a true test of driver skill and not a lottery? Because these last 2 weeks have been lotteries.
Vegas next week.
So you're sure this time now, right?
Yeah, that will
There's
be
not
a
going
good
to be
one.
some situation, because that's what I was told this week. I was told, Terry, that this week, California, it's going to be more of a true race.
You can't predict what's going to happen in any type of auto race. Because weird things happen. And but see, I don't understand how a bumpy track makes the racing better. I remember when they had the Detroit Grand Prix, there was a manhole cover. This is when it was downtown. A car went up like this, came back down. I'm like, oh my God. I mean, it's like a 180 up and down. And I thought that was very dangerous. But nothing happened. But the thing about auto racing, you can't predict what's going to happen because A, you're going at a fast rate of speed, and two, there's some hero out there. Okay, I'm following, but you know what?
Like a Kyle Larson.
Right, I know this dude is supposed to win this race, but I can still beat him.
Like a Kyle Larson that goes against the brand,
Right.
that puts one of the preeminent NASCAR brands into the wall.
Who's your teammate?
Who is your teammate as well? Right. Sawyer, would you put me into the wall if we were racing?
Probably not. I mean, maybe if it was for the championship, then maybe you'd start thinking about it, but just second race of the season, you're losing points for your team. You're down a car now, too. I mean, it's just a bonehead move. And he said, I didn't see him. It's like, how do you not see a guy in your rearview mirror and then move off to the right?
Yeah, you went that aggressive out at him because you didn't see him?
Yeah.
Really weird.
The new cars have 2 rearview mirrors now. They have an actual mirror and a digital mirror. So, like, he definitely saw that guy. But
Nick C. says, my current fitness goal is fitting this last donut in my mouth. All right, well, hey, Nick, whatever you're going to do, I hope you have success at it. Our good friend Robert Colosia says, by the way, everybody, my partner's still in downtown Kiev. I WhatsApped him on Saturday. He showed me some video. It's surreal and effing crazy. Also, the Shakhtar foreign players are in a downtown hotel. So, it's real no streets, man. It is crazy seeing a war play out in the social media era, too. Because the social media beats all the news outlets to the stories.
Well, you get stories that are not filtered by an editor. When you get something on NBC or CNN or Fox, there is a group of editors who decide what you see, and they decide how much of it you see. Now, social media, this is just the way it is. For instance, on social media, and I haven't heard this in the mainstream media, but I was watching a film today where they're not allowing black Ukrainians into Poland. First of all, I didn't know there was any black people in Ukraine.
Okay.
Secondly, this is like America. We're not going to let you in. Why? Because you're black.
Yeah. I mean, we have a family friend, too, that they're the only ones here in America. Her and her husband are the only ones here in America. The rest of the family is about 50 miles outside of Kiev. And they, again, this is the kind of thing where they just packed their stuff up and started walking to Poland. Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Like you grab whatever you can grab, and you start walking to Poland. And they said that the line to get in to Poland's literally 30 miles long.
Of course.
Like imagine that, man.
But you know what? When I first, my wife and we were talking about this, we were left 3 weeks ago. So they coming.
Well, yeah, I'm never going to be one of those hurricane people that are there going, "What happened?" Standing there with up to my chest in water in the living room of my house, going,
Right.
"I didn't think it was going to be like this." No, like I'm dipping.
It's like people in New Orleans. If they leave, it's always the last minute.
Well, and
then
I
you
know
get
that
stuck
I
in
know that there are
line.
some people that can't leave, that are financially incapable of leaving. Like I do understand that, but if you have the means, what are you doing sticking around, man?
But you know what? And I'll be honest. If they're telling us a snowstorm is coming to Michigan, and that we're going to be stuck in the house. It would have been like, whatever. I'm not going to leave. I'll just be stuck in my house.
Yeah.
But if you're telling me the Russians are coming, I'm the hell out of here.
Right. Robert says Neil is pissed because he's going to be buying DMAC eggs and toast for the rest of the year at this rate. I am bitter because Chase Elliott was down 2 laps and in 33rd place. I shut it off because I was disgusted because he just drifted into the wall for no reason. And that's another reason why I was angry about it. Yeah, Robert, you're right, because now it's affecting my wallet. So, yeah, I'm mad about that.
Oh, so this is all about you.
100%. I never said it wasn't.
I should have known.
Terry, look, but let's be real. I'm not wrong when I'm talking about Kyle Larson
here. You don't bet
here.
on auto racing.
Look, I'm not wrong. What I'm saying, get past that.
You got a problem.
Say, am I right or am I wrong? I'm right about. You agreed. You said you don't put the brand into the wall.
No, you don't. But normally you wouldn't give a damn.
That would be like Scottie Pippen stepping over Michael Jordan to get a rebound and hurting him, and he wouldn't be able to play. No, you don't do that.
No, that's not going to happen.
You don't do that.
And you especially don't do it if you mess with Neil's wallet.
100%, especially if I got to buy a D. And Robert's right, at this rate, man, I'll be buying it all season. But don't worry, because I'm told this week it's a true test of racing in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be a good one. Vegas usually puts on a good race.
D-Mac's not going to let you off easy. You're not just going to give him eggs. He's going to want an omelet. And he wants one of those giant 3-egg omelets.
I get him the 3 eggs with bacon. Like, that's what I got him last time. But it is, you know what, though? It's not about that, Terry. It is nice because I get my lunch as well, because I eat lunch at like 10 a.m. And we break bread together, and it's very nice. We sit at the table, and he and I talk, and we share life experiences, and we break bread, and we have a good time.
Okay.
And that's what it's about.
Well, you're a winner then.
I am a winner.
You get to have breakfast or lunch with Darren McCarty, and he doesn't punch you.
right. I'm not Adam.
Right.
And by the way, if we can get a show to 200 likes this week, Adam will take a left hook from Darren McCarty. By the way, that's out there. But yeah, Robert, you're right. And Chuck says Neil seems more like a Formula One type of guy, which I've said I am.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm open about it too. I'm more of a Formula One guy, but I'm a big fan of all auto racing, so I watch basically all of it.
Yeah, I like IndyCar. I probably like IndyCar the best, then the Formula One.
Yeah.
And then the NASCAR. I think I like those outlaws that drift around the track more than NASCAR.
Yeah,
seems like a truer test of driving.
If you're from America and your favorite not wrestling, but racing is Formula One, you're just being an ass.
Sawyer, your rebuttal? Are you being bougie?
I guess I'm an ass.
Do you have 2 furnaces?
I didn't say bougie. You're being an ass. Because Formula One, yes, they have all this technology. You're there for the technology. But basically, you get cars following each other for 2 hours.
So you want the lottery then?
Yes.
That's what you want the lottery of. Hopefully my car doesn't go over this bump too high and I end up in the wall for no reason.
If I want to see a parade, I will go down Woodward when the
Detroit Rams come to town?
When the Detroit Rams come to town, I'll go to the Stafford Parade. If I want
there
to see
you go.
A parade.
AC, Neil is an elitist. He needs wine and cheese during NASCAR races. I would say this, Sawyer. I think that I would fit in more in the race at Monaco than maybe at Talladega. Do you think that's fair? Do you think that's more my crowd?
Yeah, I mean, because they're probably drinking, cocktails, bourbon. They're on their yachts, having a good time.
Yeah, the sun is being shielded by a roof of some sort.
Yeah,
there's probably a cool mist fan around.
Yep. Sitting in the bed.
Bring your wallet though, brother.
Sport coat.
Because those women there, the cutie pies, they want some big money.
Well, I'll roll with you, and you'll get us in the door, just like a Delta flight from San Fran to Detroit. You'll get me in there. No, I know that you will. I know where Sawyer's big. I know where Sawyer can get me in at the Folding Warehouse.
Oh yeah, I'll get you in there anytime. All we got to do, we just got to show up, pay $10. You can play from open to close, throw till your arm gets sore, or I mean, if we're trying to bring the whole BDE crew, we might have to do the private reservation, but it's super easy, guys. It's up to 10 people for 2 hours, around $120. So you just do the reservation, then you have no worries about showing up and it's being super packed and you won't be able to play. Because I'll be honest, that place does get popping on the weekends, so you're going to have to take advantage of that function to be able to get in there and get your full on during the weekends. But you're going to have to do it. Such a good time. I mean, the Folding Warehouse is huge. So many lanes to go and play at. They have 2 multiple bars. You guys know the drill. Mystery beer machine, $2 in. Fire beer back out. gives you something good every single time, helps you make an easy decision when you're looking at that menu and they have over 100 bars to choose from, 100 beers to choose from. Just makes it so hard. I mean, like a kid in a candy store, I couldn't make the decision my first time, so I just went with the mystery beer machine. Makes the decision for you, makes it super easy. Also, if you get hungry at the Fulling Warehouse, you can bring your own food in, have it Uber Eats to you, have a pizza delivered, however you want to eat, whatever you want to eat, you can bring it in there. You're not paying for overpriced bar food that you do at a lot of other places, so that's really nice. You know, it helps the pocketbook a little bit, helps you buy another mystery beer machine or another, you know, maybe a Gypsy and Centron if they're selling those there. Those are always real good, get you some energy, get you a little gypsy in you. But I mean, it's such a great time, guys. All you have to do is go to thefullingwarehouse.com. I'll say it again for Sam. I know he couldn't hear me very well. It's thefullingwarehouse.com. Super simple to find, super easy, super fun. Or you guys can just show up to the Fulling Warehouse in person right in Hamtramck. So just take a shot, guys. Do it. Super fun. You won't regret it. You'll go back, be a return customer. It's that much fun, and you'll get you hooked. So check it out for me. Again, go to thefullingwarehouse.com. This is Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. We got Neil on the desk, T-Foss filling in for D-Mac today, Flannel Sam making us sound crispy, and I'm in here keeping us live. Be right back on the Woodward Sports Network.
Oh, excuse me, it goes down! Think you can make the big shot? Washington fires and hits! Woodward Sports wants to send you to the finals for college basketball April 2nd through the 4th in New Orleans. That's right, you and a friend in the Big Easy. We'll take care of the airfare, hotel, and tickets to see the finals for college basketball. Listen Monday through Friday to the Morning Woodward Show. Big D Energy. And the bottom line for your chance to qualify. If you can make the big shot, you and a friend are getting out of the cold and to New Orleans. Got it! Keep listening and watching for your next chance to win. Powered by Planet Fitness, Centron, and the Sports Marketing Agency. And it's over! Anything can happen in March!
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, T-Foss, Terry Foster here in the house. We'll have Storytime with T-Foss. Choose your own adventure version coming up in just a little bit. Our YouTube chat poll right now, which flannel is more acceptable? Short sleeve flannel, 54% of the vote. Sleeveless flannel, 46% of the vote.
Okay, that's cool. But most people, when you see people wearing flannel, 90% of the time it's long sleeve flannel. I can't remember when last time I saw a short sleeve flannel.
No, I can't remember either. I mean, all of mine are long sleeves, so I gotta do something for the summer, though.
Right.
Let's roll up the sleeves.
AC, Neil, what would you do if you got drafted? Bone spurs? I don't know. Is that usually the play? The bone spurs usually the play? That's what I was told, right? No, but no. My dad actually got drafted, so he did the whole Vietnam thing. He taught people how to drive tanks over in Germany, which is pretty cool.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah. But yeah, sitting here talking sports, man. That's what we do. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Overtime in football. Sawyer's Indianapolis Colts presented a rule yesterday that would change overtime and how it's dealt with. There's some sentiment within the committee that modifying the overtime for the postseason to ensure that each team would get one possession, but such a measure still would need to get 24 votes among the 32 teams to be enacted. And so I think it was fitting that the Indianapolis Colts were the ones that kind of are sponsoring this legislation because they had extra time because they didn't have to worry about being in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, we had a lot of time to think, work through the rule, watch all the games, feel bad for the Bills.
In reality, the Colts season ended the same as the Lions season, except without the good draft pick.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah, it is. So, got to do what you got to do. It's a tough loss, but come back next year.
T-Foss, what do you want to see, man? What do you want to lay out the plan for overtime in football, the T-Foss plan for overtime.
All right, I may not change it for the regular season because I don't care. If you go into the overtime, you lose a coin flip, and you don't get a possession, so be it. But in overtime, here's what I would do. I would just play a 15-minute quarter, and if you both get a possession, if it's still tied, then you just keep going until time runs out after that. So then I know they don't want to play extra time because of the health and safety of the players. But just play. If nobody scores in the first possession, just play it out. That's it. And you know what? You're paid lots of money to play football. So if you don't want to play an extra quarter, don't show up that day to go to work. Stay home.
Rack said that he was at the Monster Jam. Where were you this weekend, Sawyer? Why weren't you at the Monster Jam?
I was watching motorsports.
Same thing. All right, so you were still doing it. No, Terry, I'm with you. I'm a big proponent too of the extra quarter, the 15-minute quarter, and that's the way it is. And I don't know. This fair and equitable. I think it was. I don't have the huge problem with the way it was set up. If you can't stop someone from getting a touchdown, you know what I'm saying? Wait, at what point do you have to play defense, Terry?
I understand that, but sometimes your defense can't. But if you score the last touchdown of a game and then you get the ball again, you have a huge advantage. That defense is gassed. So it's not an even thing. Overtime should be an even 50-50 thing. And a lot of times when you get the ball, you score, normally the other team gets the ball. But a lot of times in overtime, no. You just gave up a touchdown. Then you got to go back out there, gassed, and try to stop them again. That's not fair.
Yeah, I think I am on board with play the 15-minute quarter out. Would you do that for the regular season too, or you said you'd leave the regular season the way it is?
Yeah, just leave it alone. Yeah, let them, because I don't care as much about the regular season. You're supposed to win your game. You'll still be able to win your game. You'll still be able to get into the playoffs. Normally, not having possession won't eliminate you from the playoffs. And I'm a proponent of trying to save people's bodies for the season, but the playoffs is different. Just play it out, and you can come back next year.
Yeah, I mean, I've always thought that though that it should be the 15-minute quarter. Like you play an overtime period. And
now I'll tell you, I used to be in favor of the 10-minute quarter, but this year there was a game where one team gets possession of the ball, they finally score, and the other team gets the ball with a minute and 34 seconds.
I thought the same thing.
That's not right.
Yeah, I thought the same thing where, I mean, theoretically you could use up 80% of the clock on the possession. So I'm with you. That's why, again, I would go back to it. I would do the 15-minute thing, and you play another quarter of the game. And someone asked here in the YouTube chat thread, what do you do if the game's tied after that? And again, this is just for the playoffs. That's why I think, because Charles said Players Union will vote that down for safety reasons. I get that, but I think that this is going to be just a playoffs type situation where they'll do the extra quarter. And then, I mean, but all right, Terry, so let's talk that through then. You do that. Then you're tied after another quarter. Do you play a whole nother quarter? Do you go to a sudden death then? And if you're going to go to a sudden death then what's the difference, man?
Well, the difference is you play 5 quarters and you can't decide this. We got to go home at some point. All right? We got, TV, The Simpsons got to come on at some point. So I would be in favor of then altering it from both teams get a possession in the 6th quarter, but after that, if it's still tied, it's sudden death.
But see, we're back to that then. Then someone will complain about that. You know what I'm saying?
There's no easy fix. Sports, no matter what you do, somebody's going to bitch about something. So you may as well do what you want to do.
Mars said, I think it should be a kickoff like the hockey shootout. No, that's clown stuff. That's my fear, is that we're gonna make it like a non-football result, like hockey with the shootout, like soccer with the penalties. Mm-hmm. It's like a non-sport luck type situation. It's like a NASCAR race. You just go around the turn and hope you don't end up drifting into the wall. It's like a lottery, like NASCAR.
You know what they'll do? They'll say just play 7-on-7. Lineman, you sit down. We're gonna, do what we used to do as kids: play 7-on-7.
Yeah, the 7-on-7. Chuck Brewer, after the overtime, you don't reset; you just keep playing. And teams when they coin toss won 90% of the games before the rule change a couple years ago. Since the rule change, teams when they coin toss only win 49%. So the rule change is working. So, I mean, that right there is the line. To me, that tells me it is working.
Well, if that person is telling us the truth.
I have no reason to believe our listeners are untruthful, Terry.
You don't think there's liars on there? Are
No.
you kidding me?
Only the ones that call me bougie.
No,
Those are the only ones that are lying.
Well, that's me. No, but people in this era of sports and society, they just make up their own stats.
No, I did hear that on different news entities, though, that it was I believe I heard that too, 49% teams that win the coin toss. So to me, that suggests that it's fine the way it is. And you know how we do, like everyone just talks about the Chiefs-Bills game, and no one talks about the Chiefs-Bengals game. What did the Bengals do?
Yeah.
They stopped Mahomes.
Yeah.
They won the game.
They did. So at least in the playoffs that we know it's 50-50.
Right.
So why are we going to have rule changes?
I don't know. Like, I don't have a huge problem. I don't have this huge outcry because, again, like I feel at some point you have to defend to win.
I think for the overall health of the game, let everybody have at least one possession. And now we have to decide, do we play the quarter out or do after that do we go sudden death? First team to score wins after you both get to possess the ball.
But we just played 4 quarters, though, Terry. We just did literally the exact same thing. Like anything that ends in sudden death, then why change it?
Because what we're trying to do is give each team an opportunity to knock the other one out. And if you can't do that, then you're at the realm of sudden death.
I think Chuck sums it up pretty well. We're Lions fans. Why are we talking about playoff rules? LOL. Sawyer, too. He's a Colts fan. He doesn't have to worry about the play. Can't even beat the Jaguars.
Guys, the Lions have made the playoffs. They just don't win the playoff games.
Mark Ross says, why not just do a best-of-7 coin toss? How about that, Terry?
Sure, why not? What the hell?
I don't know. I can't get past that principle of if the roads are going to end at sudden death, then why change it?
Because you're giving everyone at some point a 50-50 shot.
But the math says we're at a 50-50 shot now.
No, this small sample size. Very small sample size.
Okay.
And you know that's going to change over the years.
It just, to me, this is like way more complicated, I think, than people think it is on the surface.
I disagree. We got to come up with something.
Sawyer, what do you got on the overtime thing?
I agree with like playing the quarter thing, kind of like the NHL rules. I mean, during the regular season, they do 3-on-3 to a shootout, but then in the postseason, they just do full periods until you have a winner. So, I mean, I'm with the quarter.
But we're all right with the NHL playoffs, though, with the sudden death.
Well, yeah, I mean,
yeah,
kind of makes more sense, though. I mean, they score a goal.
The NHL is not as taxing on your body as the NFL. And plus, playoff overtime hockey is some of the best stuff in athletics, period. Because it could be a slip or it could, something bounce off your head into the goal. You never know how it's going to end.
Yeah. Tiger Hawk says in the playoffs, a team that wins a coin toss is 10-1 with 7 of those wins on the first drive. So they got touchdowns on 7 of those 11 first drives, huh?
Oh, so different stats. So we just had 2 different people come up with different stats on the same thing. So which one do you believe?
And I don't know. I don't know what to do, Terry.
Somebody lied to us.
Maybe I'll just tell you about the sports marketing agency instead.
How
about that? SMA's been leveraging pro athletes and other notables for a decade against the issues around mental health and substance use disorder. With the help of NFL alumni, Sean Jordan has been able to save lives and take a stand against these issues. Coming soon to Woodward Sports, the sports marketing agency podcast. This is the F Word. It's a series on fentanyl. If you're struggling with substance abuse or mental health, they are here to help. Go to thesportsma.com. Again, that's thesportsma.com. And be on the lookout for This is the F Word, the sports marketing agency podcast, a series on fentanyl on Woodward Sports.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
What's the over-under? Should I tease? Who is the lock of the night? Make sure you're watching Woodward Bets to get the latest in sports betting and more. Woodward Bets daily on Woodward Sports.
Pulling up on the second hour of the show. Sports fans, Woodward Sports send you to the New Orleans to see the college basketball finals. This is Monday to Friday. Morning Woodward Show. Big D Energy and Drive Time with the bottom line. Want more chance to qualify? Make sure you are following Woodward Sports on Twitter, Instagram, and head to woodwardsports.com. So we'll be getting people qualified every single show for the next 4 weeks. One qualifier per show. Airfare, hotel, tickets to the game included. You can win a trip to the finals for NCAA basketball, which we're going to talk college basketball. You might not be seeing any Michigan teams there when you do go down there. But, hey, New Orleans is a hell of a time. T-Foss can tell you where to go. Here's what we're going to do today. And every day we're going to do something different. So we've had this campaign, right, to follow Sawyer on Twitter. Sawyer's got his Twitter followed up. The next person to follow Sawyer on Twitter. What's the Twitter handle, Sawyer? Give it up to everybody.
@Benj Sawyer. I'll throw it in the chat, too, so you can see it typed out.
The next person to follow Sawyer on Twitter, Sawyer will announce it. And then Sam Flannel, we have to. You need to send them an email.
Yes, you can email I love March Madness 2022 @gmail.com. I'll repeat that. I love March Madness 2022 @gmail.com, all one word.
All right, so there you go. The next person to follow Sawyer will announce a winner, and go ahead and just send an email to reach out to Woodward Sports, and we'll get you all caught up and get the details and all the pertinent information that we need on our end to get you qualified to win a trip to New Orleans for the Final Four.
Final Four, New Orleans is a blast.
Yeah. Anything in New Orleans is a blast.
It is.
Anything is. So, yeah, there it is. Ben Sawyer, @BENG Sawyer. So, Lions Rumble 81 says, I don't tweet. That sucks. Don't worry. We got some other stuff. You'll get your chances to get qualified. There is no doubt about it. Just stay with us here. We got a lot of qualifiers we're going to get to. So, don't worry. We'll get it rolling here for sure. But speaking of college basketball, it was a crazy Saturday. Teams number 1 through 6 all lost on Saturday. Gonzaga. I watched the St. Mary's Gonzaga game, and everything went right for St. It was one of those games, Terry, and you've seen this before in college basketball. When you're playing on the road, and the home team is the underdog, but they got the mojo going, and everything's going right.
That's what happens, particularly in bandbox arenas.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it was. Drew Timme was like 0 for 8 from the floor, all within like 5 feet of the rim, like off the heel and all that kind of stuff. So it was like the perfect storm. But, it was a crazy weekend. And Terry, I know you contend that this is not a college basketball town, but I did get the feel. That one, it kind of felt March Madness-y. I guess that's a way to say it. And we are getting to that point. Obviously, the conference tournament starting this week. Oakland, Detroit Mercy will be in action on Tuesday night. So, it is going, Terry. We are at that time.
Is Oakland going to win a playoff game in the tournament?
Yeah, they're playing IUPUI on Tuesday night at the
Are you sure
arena.
about that?
Yes.
All right, I'm just checking.
They beat IUPUI, I think, by 35 at IUPUI. So
that still doesn't mean anything.
No, it does in this case, Terry. It does. The challenge will be Thursday at Wright State.
Okay.
You got to play one on the road. That's hard.
Okay.
So that'll be the challenge. But we'll see. That is what we're looking for. We got a winner? Clomp Sauce is on there. All right, there you go. So Clomp Sauce, send that email. Reach out. What is it again?
1 second. Let me pull it up.
I love March Madness 2022.
I love March Madness 2022 @gmail.com.
So Clomp Sauce, send an email there, and we'll respond and get the details that we need, and get everybody qualified for a shot to go to New Orleans. So that certainly will be a lot of fun. I've always been curious to ask you this, Terry. Why isn't this a college basketball town?
We have
with
so
all
much,
the success.
I know, but we have so much. Well, the most success has been at Michigan State, and I don't think there's as many Spartan fans in Metro Detroit area as our Michigan fans. And Michigan, yes, they won national championships. They had the Fab Five, which I don't think people really got behind the Fab Five like they should have. But as far as why, I mean, I think we have too much. We have the professional teams, then you have college football that people here love, and I think another thing is the high school talent isn't very good. So back in the day, you had Antoine Joubert going to Michigan. Everybody knew who he was.
Right.
Then now, I mean, you had Derek Coleman. He went to Syracuse. But
Willie Burton.
Burton, you had big names. You had guys who were going in. You don't have that anymore.
Why is that, Terry? Is that a funding? I feel like that's a funding thing.
It is a funding thing because if you can really play, you're looking to get out of this state.
Spire Academy.
Right.
Yeah.
They've drained. And so this is no longer the place to be seen if you can play basketball. You go somewhere else now.
That's interesting. So you think that plays a part as to why this is. And again, you look, obviously we know the success Michigan State has had. Mm-hmm. Michigan has played for a national title recently. I mean,
But at Michigan, the only thing that counts at Michigan is Michigan football. And then basketball is, it's basketball season? Okay, yeah, I'll go and cheer, maybe.
Chuck Brewer says, has there been a big name since Jalen Rose and Chris Webber to come out of Detroit?
Yeah, that's the other factor.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at...
I think Josh Jackson's a good example of that, right?
Josh Jackson left.
Yeah, right.
And, in fact, I saw him play here at West Bloomfield High School. And then next thing I know, I was, saying, who's this guy? This guy can really play. And they said, yeah, he probably won't be here next year. I said, well, he's a junior. Well, he's getting out of here. So I keep... basketball is in flux. And I think it starts at the high school level. For instance, Flint. If you can play in Flint, you don't play for Flint Northwestern or Flint Southwestern or any of those schools. First of all, a lot of those schools are gone. And the other thing is the suburban schools in Flint are taking it. You go to Grand Blanc play or Swartz Creek or wherever it is, so you go play there. And then in Detroit, which is supposed to be the mecca of high school basketball, we're not getting that big-name guy that goes and plays at Michigan or Michigan State or UD or Oakland. They're gone. They leave. For instance, back in the day, people believed that Detroit Mercy would be a basketball power if one thing happened. If Chris Webber went to UD Mercy, it would be a basketball power. Because then other people want to go there and play with them. And then afterwards, when they had their big run, other guys would want to go there and play for UD Mercy. UD made another mistake. They didn't join the Big East, and they had an opportunity to join it.
Did they really? I never knew that.
They did. Yeah, they did. They had the opportunity, but I think they thought, it's too tough. We're not going to be able to do it. But if Chris Webber had gone to U of D and they joined the Big East, I think maybe we'd have at least a DePaul here from the olden days.
Yeah, and that's true, too. And Jake Wegener says Michigan State love's pretty strong in the Tri-Cities. Successful Saginaw kids tend to go there. Yeah, which we've seen that happen. And when you look at Draymond Green, he's playing in the NBA now. And it's funny you bring that up, too, Terry, because I think the city thing is something that I didn't really take into account. Now, if you look at the past 5 to 8 years, and Oakland had a pretty good run with PSL kids. You had Kay Felder out of Pershing,
right?
Martez Walker, Sharon Dorsey Walker, those guys that were
they weren't
pretty good
household names.
But they weren't household names when they left, and that was the thing. And Kay Felder, he got to the NBA, was drafted in the NBA, had a cup of coffee, was in the NBA for about 3 years, and I think you may be right, man. That we don't get that juice as basketball fans here in the city and even around the city, because even Flint, well, Kyle Kuzma was out of Flint, but again, he left all. I mean, yeah, you're right. You're right. Now that I think about it, Terry,
I'm right about some things.
You are, T-Foss, but that's why I go to you for the experience angle. Why don't you guys like college basketball anymore? Why does Michigan have to be in the Final Four for anyone to pay attention? Why is that? Because college basketball is great, man, and it gets you through the winter time.
It is fun, but then and then you get, talking about Michigan. When you talk about the University of Michigan, the only thing that matters to that school is that football program, because basketball. Here's what basketball had to do at the University of Michigan. They game planned in their little office, in their little cramped office, and they're on top of each other. Then to go to practice, they had to walk almost a quarter of a mile. That doesn't make sense. That's the way it used to be. Yes, it's different now. Yes, they got everything in the same building, but that was how much they thought about basketball. And then basketball under Fisher and Frieder begging, hook us up. And the alumni who control the money said, we'll hook basketball up as soon as this football stadium is up to our standards. In other words, they had to get the new turf, they had to get the new suites, they had to get all the stuff that the rich alumni wanted, and they had to get the stupid halo off the circle before they give basketball any money. Now basketball has got, they're much better than they were before, but now the talent drain has depleted where the guys that go to Michigan, oh yeah, this guy's from Indiana. I heard he's good, but I never seen him play. I don't know who this guy is. It's sort of like when we talk about, we never talk about the NHL draft because we don't know who these dudes are.
Right.
They're from Sweden and Russia and Ukraine and Germany. But basketball, we'll watch the NFL draft and the NBA draft because I've seen that dude play. He lived down the street from my aunt, or he played for my favorite school. Oh, this dude, yeah, he played at Central Michigan. You may not know about him, but I do, and he's pretty good. So, and that's the same thing that's happened with college basketball.
Gromit0237 says football makes the money. I would disagree. That college basketball contract, CBS pays the NCAAs $1 billion annually.
Yeah, it does.
So, and then all the separate rights fees. Now, don't get me wrong, man. Obviously, football's bringing in a ton of cash and stuff like that. But basketball is carrying the freight too. Like, let's be real, $1 billion TV deals, billions, like with a B. Think about that stuff. It's pretty strong. Guys, let's be honest. We like simple stuff. Football 5 days a week. We like things uncomplicated. Like Lady Jane's haircuts for men. Walk in, sign in, sit down, and before you know it, boom, you're handsome and clean. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. You can walk in anytime. They're not going to tell you, oh, we'll get to you in an hour, or hey, come back at 4:30. No, you walk in to Lady Jane's to get a haircut. You get your haircut. You move on about your day. It's a brilliant plan that they have at Lady Jane's. It's uncomplicated. That's what I like. I know you guys like that too. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's. It's wicked awesome.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Putting on a show here, and that's how you answer. We love our sports. We just wish they'd love us back. Detroit sports for Detroit sports fans. Woodward Sports.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, T-Foss, Terry Foster in the house. We got Sam Flannel. We got Sawyer keeping it crispy as well. Happy you all are with us on the radio on 93.5 The Roar. On our YouTube channel, I know a lot of you like to tap in to the YouTube chat thread. Send us a tweet on social media as well. We will get to it all at some point here today. It is interesting getting people's thoughts on college basketball. Detroit Dabber, Antoine Davis, though, is fire. Yeah, I mean, every time I see him, it's 18 points on 16 shots. You can go back to the box
but
scores.
But does anybody go see him play?
No.
Yeah, that's the issue.
Yeah, nobody does. It is sad. And I will say that. Like, look, Detroit's a rival of Oakland, and there's a lot more to it than what happens on the court or on the fields or stuff like that. There's a backstory to all of it. But with all that being said, it is sad because I'm born and raised here, and I remember going to Cobo as a kid, like just as a sports fan, watch Detroit Mercy play Michigan State, and there would be 6,000 people, and now when Detroit Mercy plays, there is nobody there. And it is sad. Unless Oakland comes into town, then there's 5,000.
The big game in Detroit is Oakland, Michigan State.
Yeah.
But I think people go there for the party, to have fun and kind of hang out. I don't think
and they always do it right around the
basketball.
holiday, too.
Right.
And that the timing of the game has a lot to do. But, I mean, the facts support it, Terry. Biggest basketball crowd in the history of the Palace, Oakland, Michigan State.
Right. Biggest
basketball crowd in the history of LCA, Oakland, Michigan State. I mean, that's what it is. And, yeah, obviously there's a lot of Michigan State fans, too. But far and away, we'll sell 8,000 tickets at Oakland for that game, too. I mean,
now, would it be the same if it was Michigan and Oakland?
No, because Michigan fans don't go to games.
Right. So if we had the Oakland, Michigan around the holidays, we see some empty seats.
100%.
Okay.
And that's the nature of the beast. And we have people on our YouTube chat thread saying, I admit I'm a fair weather college basketball fan. The only time Michigan college basketball fans roll out is all of a sudden they appear from everywhere around tournament time if the team's in the Sweet 16 to the Elite 8 to the Final Four.
Well, the one thing I will say about Michigan fans, they didn't sell out when the Fab Five was rolling.
They did not.
That was alarming to me. I would go to games and say, damn, this is a big game. Where is everybody?
Yeah. And so, Lions Rumble, Cobo Hall, all the memories, right. And Chuck says, I'm too young to remember, but hear stories about when Dickie V coached at Detroit Mercy. And, yeah, the problem is a lot of the Detroit Mercy people think it's still the same time that Marquette's going to come into Callahan and play Detroit Mercy. And
no, it's not. Hey, dude, best game I saw there, Minnesota came in to play Detroit. It wasn't Detroit Mercy then, but they have Kevin McHale, Michael Thompson, and some other third dude who was pretty good. And Kevin McHale kicked their ass. That's the first time I saw his up and under move live. But you know what? It was exciting because it was kind of a tight game. Like Minnesota was beating them, but they weren't blowing them out by 50 at first. So you think, okay, they got a shot. And then you saw Kevin McHale and said, man, this dude is good. And Michael Thompson, this dude is good. And the Titans were fighting and clawing and scratching and everything. But at the end, Minnesota just busted them up at the end. But that was probably the best game ever. And if I recall, there was like 7,000 something people there. And Callahan holds 8,000.
Right.
So that was exciting. I've been to Callahan when it used to sell out. When there was big games, when Marquette would come in. And that there was always 3 or 4 games that you had to see. Now, at Callahan, for a while, the only games to see was Butler and Oakland. And that was it.
Right. And now it's just Oakland.
Right.
It is. It is sad. Again, don't get me wrong. Like, it is sad. I'm an Oakland guy. I work for Oakland, graduated from Oakland. So, I feel some kind of way about Detroit. If Stick's a Detroit Mercy guy, we talk and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun.
Now,
but
I'm going to give you some breaking news today.
What's that?
I was in negotiations with the University of Detroit Mercy to, I don't know what the title was, but I was supposed to take Bakari Alexander around and introduce him to the community and stuff, although he knows the people. And what they were trying to do is they were trying to get more people to Callahan. And my idea was, of course, I never told it to them because they never hired me. My idea was to have special packages of people who are living downtown, because a lot of those people who live downtown are not from Detroit, and they don't know that college basketball is here. So my idea was to get some buses, have them have dinner somewhere, bus them to Callahan, have them sit together during the game, bring them back, and maybe have like a cocktail hour and send them on their way. So maybe you get a few hundred extra people in there, and which would have been great for them because they were getting like 2,000-3,000. So maybe if you can boost that crowd up, maybe these guys would come back later and watch them play at a later date too. But my idea was never implemented because I said, oh, we don't have the money and stuff. I said, well, you're going to hire me. I'm going to make you money.
T-Foss.
But never happened.
You got a couple stories kicking around in your head for story time with T-Foss. You prepared to you want to break them now? As I take a look at the YouTube chat thread, I think we can close that one out. Which flannel is more acceptable? Short sleeve, 57% of the vote. Sleeveless, 43% of the vote. So that was the final tally on that. But I think it is. It's time to get T-Foss's story time with T-Foss.
You know what that poll tells me? Most of the people listening to us are little bird chest worm boys. They're not the big burly guys walking around because they can go sleeveless. And you gonna mess with me? I'll beat you up. So that's what that tells me.
Yeah. Detroit Dabber, the free 4-piece Buddy's Pizza when UDM won and scored over 80 was a fun promo when I was there. A few bucks for a pitcher of beer, and you were set. And, they do something similar out at Oakland. Fans love it. They go nuts when Oakland gets to 80 points. Oh, you got
little buddies out there.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, man.
I've been there.
Absolutely. All right, T-Foss, break it down here. Story time with T-Foss. You guys know how this works. He'll present you with two options right now. Sawyer will take it to the streets in our YouTube chat poll, and then we will see who the people want to hear about. So what do we got, T-Foss?
All right. Since you guys were talking about this before the show, the first one is about my experience at the gay club with my friend Hope in Grand Rapids. Or the second one is the timeout dance that we invented the night that Chris Webber called timeout against North Carolina, and we're on Bourbon Street. And the silliness and by we, I'm talking about the sports writers. After we were covering the game, we all hit the Bourbon Street. And we got drunk and did the timeout dance.
Yeah, Bourbon Street's electric, man.
Oh, I love Bourbon.
I do too. Low key, New Orleans is one of my favorite cities, and people always are like, "What do you mean?" Like, it's got everything.
How can they say, "What do you mean?"
Yeah, it's got everything you need. There's a casino down the street. Like if that's the itch that you want to scratch, they got a casino right down the street. There's any kind of theme bar that you want. You want a beach bar. You want a cowboy bar, you want a hip-hop bar, whatever you want, they got them all, and you can just walk around having your drinks, man. It's fun.
All I need is a po' boy.
And the food, the food is unbelievable. The food is as average, it's better than advertised. I love New Orleans. So there it is, story time with T-Foss, the time he went to the gay club with a friend in Grand Rapids, or the Chris Webber timeout dance. Let's see where everybody is at with that early.
I think this is a tough one this week.
That is a tough one. Sawyer, which way you leaning on that one?
I don't know. I'm undecided right now. Probably have to think about it over the break.
You're going to think about your moves?
Yeah, it's hard. Got to think about where to spend my vote, you know?
Hey, rock the vote.
Yeah.
Make sure you're represented.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't wait to see. Which way people want to go with that, and certainly I can't wait to hear the story as well. But when we come back, though, I do want to touch on this Red Wings Maple Leafs insanity that we saw on Saturday night. The only thing missing was a rouge in that game. The first time that many goals were scored in an NHL game, I think, since 2011. 17 goals in the game.
Yeah, we were trying to look up what's the most goals in history, and I think
14-7. I think I saw Toronto, Montreal.
Yeah, well, we know it was 21 goals or something like that. So they got in the neighborhood.
They did. They got in the neighborhood. Speaking of the neighborhood, Little Caesars Arena, where that game took place, that's where you can find Cintron World. It's an aspirational lifestyle beverage brand with a line of sparkling flavored energy beverages, premium bottled water, and revitalizer shots. Cintron, the official energy drink of the Red Wings, proud partners with the Detroit Pistons, and exclusively served at Little Caesars Arena. If you want premium ingredients, long-lasting energy, balanced hydration, essential vitamins, and of course, great taste, Cintron is the top choice. Buy online at CintronWorld.com. With the promo code RedWings10, save 10% with shipping included. Drink it, live it with Cintron.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Comerica Park, sunshine, the crack of the bat. more sunshine, warmth. We're almost there, Detroit. Summer 2022 will be the summer of Woodward sports. We just gotta make it through this damn cold first.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. T. Foss, Terry Foster. My name is Neil Rule, Sam Flannel, and Sawyer as well. Fletch Lives Daily says gay club all day. So the poll is up there right now. Storytime with T. Foss. Choose your own adventure version coming up in about 25 minutes. T. Foss will break it down for you. Red Wings defense got broken down on Saturday night. They lost 10-7, lost by a field goal to the Toronto Maple Leafs. And Terry, this has been a consistent theme with me where I really locked in to the point where I went down to the game Wednesday when they played Colorado. They fell behind 2-0, and it was essentially out of reach from that moment. I know they got back within one, but at no point did I ever feel like the Red Wings were a factor in that hockey game. And Saturday again, Terry, Toronto in town, Toronto. The atmosphere seemed like it was electric. And again, Terry, they give
all the little Canadians coming in.
Yeah, and it's fine. They're cute. They haven't been relevant about 50, 60 years either, and that's fine. They're the Lions of hockey. That's what they are.
They are.
Check the math. The Maple Leafs are the Lions of hockey.
Except they used to be something.
So were the Lions in the 50s.
That was before the Fords, though.
Right, but mathematically, it's around the same time frame.
All right. So
the Toronto Maple Leafs are the Detroit Lions of hockey. There's no debating that. That's what they are.
Bam.
They don't win. When it comes down to it, they lose. They always do. Except on Saturday when they scored 10 goals. So 10-7, they got the win. And Terry, I'm getting a little frustrated, and I know it's part of it. I know it's part of the building. I understand that. I understand they're not a playoff team. But this little stretch that they're on defensively, Terry, come on, man.
Yeah, but it was bad goaltending. Yes, there was bad defense, but I saw goals from both sides. I'm like, how'd that puck get through there? You could have had like one of those cardboard guys that you slide back and forth, and it would have had a higher save percentage than the goalies that were out there. But here's one question I have, and this is directed at Red Wings fans. It was an electric atmosphere. People were excited, and you get thrilled when you see all these goals. But what, for you at the end of the day, was it an exciting game or an embarrassment? Because, yes, they fought back from a 7-2 deficit, and when they cut it to one
Terry,
goal...
I love that you put it like that, because I'm getting, people are celebrating. They're saying, oh, it was a great game.
But you're embarrassed.
To some degree, yeah, I am. 10 goals?
Yeah,
the Maple Leafs?
You're not supposed to give up 10 goals to anybody.
You're pulling the goalie, then you're bringing him back later on in the game. Grice, Nettie, come on, man.
Well, it turned into a free-for-all, and it turned into a joke of a game, because I was watching the game with a special friend of mine, Bibbs, and when the Wings cut it to one goal, I said they're going to lose by 3. Watch, because that's what they do. They fight, claw, scratch to get themselves back in the game, and then the defense disappears.
Which is my point about it, Terry. At what point does that wear out? They fought hard and they tried hard. At some point, man, you got to not allow 10 goals. At some point, you can't get dominated in the first period against the Avalanche and be down 2-0 and the game's a wrap. You know what I'm saying?
No, I hear it. Last game I went to, they were getting their asses kicked, fought to get back in the game, and then gave up some stupid goal at the end to lose by 1. But that's sort of what they are. And, once again, young team,
which
don't
I get,
know how to win.
Which I get.
But the surprising thing is the defense disappears. Now, back in the day, the way the Wings used to lose games, they would give up. They couldn't clear the puck out of their own zone, and the other team would score. Now they're giving up goals just by bad defense. And the thing is, you have Mo Seider, who's could win Rookie of the Year, and is one of the better defenders in the National Hockey League. He's beating the snot out of people, or at least hitting them. So,
and your big acquisition too was Nick Leddy. defenseman. I mean, now, granted, he was going to be a one and done, certainly. Maybe used as a trade trip. Maybe you keep him. And I get why they acquired him. But that's, again, I'm not saying I am in the exact same spot I was after the Avalanche game. I'm not saying shut it down. I'm not saying the plan is trash. I'm not saying all that. But I am saying at some point, you can't give up 10 goals, man, and then tell me about how it was a good game. I'm sorry. And Chase, Fletch Lives Daily says it was a definite embarrassment. Detroit Dabber says it was awful. And that makes me feel a little bit better, where I don't, I know a lot of people were saying, it was a lot of fun to watch and all that kind of stuff. Not when my team's giving up 10 goals, man.
Yeah, if you don't care who won the game, it was a great game. It's something you don't see all the time, because in an NHL game, it's going to be 3-2 and maybe an empty netter, 4-2 or 3-1 or something like this. This was the big party platter that we don't see all the time. 10-7, and they're just going at each other. It's almost like an NHL All-Star game back in the day.
I don't know. Am I not being fair, Terry? I feel like I'm being very fair.
Well, you're being fair and unfair, but you're putting your expectations on this team maybe a little bit too early.
See, and that's what I'm trying to guard against, T-Foss, is don't get me wrong. They're not a playoff team. But teams don't give up 10 goals either.
And they don't score 7. So look at the bright side.
So you're in the it's a great game crowd. Which one are you, Terry? Is it embarrassing or was it a good game?
It's an embarrassment, but as it was going on, I was excited to see that game. But I knew how it was going to end. I knew they were going to lose by 3 or 4 goals, because that's just sort of what they do. I don't have huge expectations for the Wings yet. I don't have huge expectations for anybody in this city yet. So you just kind of deal with it.
Yeah, I don't know. And I think we do know what the target will be draft-wise. I think we do know what the target will be trade market-wise, free agency-wise. I don't have the list of free agents in front of me right now. But do you feel as though this is something that has to be addressed, Terry? Because I do. If you want to, so here's the deal, okay? I'm being fair about it. I'm not freaking out about it or anything like that. It was embarrassing to give up 10 goals, and a lot of you have confirmed that suspicion on my part. But it is something that needs to be addressed sooner rather than later.
Well, I think they realize that that's the case, because let's forget about the 10 goals. You don't give up 5 goals in the NHL, which is what they do. You don't give up, most of the time 4 goals against bad teams, which they do. So obviously this has to be addressed, because the goal is to win a championship. It's to be Stanley Cup contenders again. And in order for you to even talk about championships, you have to be a defensive team. When Scotty Bowman came in, had a high-scoring team that was exciting to watch. What did he do? Fellas, have you ever heard of the left wing lock? You haven't? Well, I'm going to teach it to you right now, because you're going to play defense. And Steve Yzerman, I need more defense out of you, or your ass is gone. And Steve Yzerman, iconic guy here in Detroit, now in charge of everything, he could have been gone because Scotty Bowman didn't like his defense. So bottom line, you have to give up maybe 1 or 2 goals, bad night 3 goals. And so, yes, this has to be addressed, or the Wings will be just one of those teams that go up and down the place, up and down the ice, look exciting, but don't win anything.
And this is interesting. While I'm not there yet, and I've said this in the past, Charles says seems like the players are not buying into Blashill. He's a good minor league coach, but the team is now pros. And Fletch says the Wings are just so dang inconsistent. Lions rumble. Blashill doesn't rile or pump the guys up. And Tammy said this is a 500 team, which is fair, Tammy. I think we're all in agreement with that. Just on that outside looking in at the playoffs, just right there. And again, I understand this is part of the process. I get that. But what's happened lately has been concerning. And I know, again, they are very, very young. I get that. And there does come that point in a season, and T-Foss, you've been around sports your whole life, and you covered the NBA, where I think you see it as much as you see anywhere. That quote-unquote rookie wall or that young player wall is a thing. That is something you have to build up to play this many games.
Right, but I knew it was going to come down to Blashill, but I don't see that they're not playing hard for him. What I
agree.
see is they make stupid mistakes at the most inopportune time. That's not a rah-rah, come on, guys, I want to rev you. That's a thinking man's part. You become a thinking man the last 3, 4, 5 minutes of a game. And that's when, the wings are flying high and everything, but they'll just do something stupid to lose a game.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's effort or trying to pump guys up. It's the mental part that is lost on me with the Detroit Red Wings.
Here's an interesting question, too. And look, we covered the coach. You knew there was going to be 2 taglines. You've been talking Red Wings in this town for a long time. There's going to be 2 angles that people are going to talk about the coach
and the
goalie.
Right.
And that's what this is brought up here by Chuck. He says, "Is our future goaltender on this team right now? That is now in question after the last month." But I was told, Nettie was a steal and Grice was, Grice was solid and all that kind of stuff. And there has been a 180 in terms of the goalie play. And we saw some cracks in the armor, I think, last month where we saw a couple of bad goals that were let in. The game in Colorado, I think, which was really a warning shot to what we've seen. They are struggling. And that's why I don't think we're at the Blashill exit of the highway. We're not at the Blashill toll booth yet on the thruway. You know what I'm saying? We're not there yet. But the goalie thing,
I tell you what, I think the future goalie is on this team. Yzerman and all his henchmen are going to make sure that they are. Yes, am I scared by what I've seen the last month or 5 weeks? Yes. But I've also seen some great goaltending out of both of these guys at some point. So you have to decide, do you have to invest in another young goalie? Or do you get this year's Dominic Hasek for next season, whatever? It's probably too soon for that. But I think the issue is getting these guys better training, preparing the guys that you already have, because they're both young, and they've both been very good in this league.
Yeah. Sebastian Coase is getting a lot of discussion right now, a youngster in the Detroit Red Wings system. So I think he's playing out in the Western Hockey League right now, 15th overall pick in the draft last year. So and that's the way this works, right? Like you just bounce from hope to hope to hope.
Right.
I understand that. It's just Cap City Sports Bro says, I turned the Wings game off after it was 4-1. Not even sad I missed it. It was an awful game. And that's where I was with it. And there was a lot of talk, around social media. And that was the impression I was getting, was everybody was just like, oh, that was a lot of fun. That was a great game. And I never felt that, Terry. I didn't.
I know you are a down-home sportsman. You want to see excellence. You don't care if your team wins 1-0. You don't care if your football team wins 13-10. You just want to see excellence on the field, whether it comes to offense, defense, or wherever. You're not a guy that's all for the free-for-all, unless your team wins 10-7. That's like, hey.
Which is funny because when I watch college football on Saturday night, I live for that, but I'm not invested in it. I like the Hawaii game when it's 41-38 and stuff like that. I like that stuff. I like sitting on the deck drinking a bourbon watching Hawaii play football.
Because you're not invested
I'm not
in
emotionally invested in that.
I'm just watching football and entertain me.
Yeah, and that's what I want to see. So Charles says the goalies are tired from facing 40 to 50 shots a game, so I say fix the defense, cut the shots down. The goalies will get tired at facing all of those shots. Fletch says somebody lied to you, Neil, about the goaltenders. No, you guys, you can confirm this. Sawyer, we were doing the shows, remember, when they made the Nedeljkovic trade. That's all I was told about, man, was this was a steal, and I can't believe we fleeced this guy. And I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying it's been bad lately, and that's being fair. Remember, too, when people thought you could trade Grice and get something at the deadline? Like, should they trade Grice and get something at the deadline? So, those were just all the things. Those were my concerns.
We had Nedeljkovic on the show here.
That's true.
And I was told it was a steal.
It's just
you're right.
Struggling right now. He is. He's struggling. But again,
you've seen greatness out of him.
You have seen him play well, and I know if D-Mac were here right now, I know exactly what he'd be saying, and he would bring up Kosa and he would say, "It's still part of the plan, Neil." Well, Neil, this is still part of the plan.
The eyes are plan.
Yeah, your eyes are hashtag eyes are plan. It's not who, it's who. Like he would be saying those types of things. But he is right, though, because that would be part of the list because they did invest a first-round pick in a goaltender. So it is indirectly he's saying that with his actions. He's saying, hey, this is something that we got to keep an eye on. And that's where I keep circling back to.
But here's the consistent thing in sports. Young players are inconsistent. Young players make you want to pull your hair out. Young players piss you off because they do stupid stuff. It's exactly what the Wings are doing. But the Wings have moments where you're like, damn, they're pretty good. And then you go, oh, God, really?
Yeah,
So
I think
that's what's happening.
I think it's safe to say the Red Wings need a guardian in goal. Guardian Alarm gets it. Whether for home or business, a good defense helps you feel secure. Guardian Alarm is a state-of-the-art technology that helps you feel safe, all with 24/7 local monitoring. By the way, got a chance to tour their facilities about a week and a half ago. Stick and I went out there and investing in all the infrastructure, too, for Guardian Alarm. So if you're feeling safe now, wait. The technology advancements, everything that they got popping with Guardian Alarm. Stick around for it because they are really stepping the game up, and it was exciting to see all the things that they have going on. They have convenient features that let you check in on your home or business, control lights and temperatures, detect smoke or carbon monoxide. They'll even let you lock and unlock your doors. So here's what you do, guys. You call 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
Let them know Woodward Sports sent you. Call 1-800.
Stay out.
There it
Keep
is.
that puck out my net.
To keep the puck out of the net. Sam Flannel, keep him away from that $1 million collection of flannels. You can do it all with Guardian Alarm. They are your local security experts.
Everything that we've hoped for, finally.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brandon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
No off-season for us. We're talking sports. 365. Detroit Sports Network. Woodward Sports.
Back at it, coming down the stretch, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, T. Foss, Terry Foster, we got Sawyer, we got Sam Flannel as well. Machiavelli Sucks to Go says, just got here. Oh my God, 10-7 Red Wings. Yeah, I know, it was unbelievable. I just took some issue with the people that said, oh, it was a lot of fun, it was an entertaining game, at least they didn't quit. No, he gave up 10 goals to Toronto.
It was entertaining. You got to give him that. But
I think it's entertaining for like what you say. If you're a hockey fan and wherever you're a hockey fan in Tampa, Florida, watching that game, then yeah, it was entertaining for you. But I don't like him giving up 10 goals to Toronto at home, especially with an electric atmosphere. A team that doesn't give up a lot of goals, Detroit City FC, unveiled their kits. And this is a big thing in the soccer community, Terry, when teams reveal their kits or their jerseys, as it were, for the upcoming season. I had the opportunity to go to St. Andrews Hall last night. They had a big party out there, big crowd on hand. So Detroit City FC, that will be competing in the USL next year, revealed their jerseys. They got some classic looks. That was kind of my favorite one right there. The goalkeeper kit is always a big thing in the soccer world. And my guy, Nate Steinwasser, Detroit Mercy product, by the way. He and
They've
I
had
were
some fine soccer there.
Yeah, we had the chance to hang out and have a few pops and whatnot. And there's Nate Steinwasser and I who got that Detroit City FC kit. So looking forward to that season starting March 12th, everybody. A national television deal with the USL with the ESPN Plus.
Now, you're going, but you can't be out in the crowd. You're there working.
No, I was hanging out.
No, I'm talking for the games.
Oh, yeah, the games I'll be working, yeah.
All right, because I'm going to go. I don't want to be on the family side.
You want to be with the Northern Guard people?
I want to come out smelling like smoke and soot.
All right, here's the deal. I'll make that happen. We got DMAC out there last year letting off a smoke bomb. Can we count on you to do the same, Terry?
I got to let off. I can't just come watch the game. I got to light off a smoke bomb.
Yes.
Why not?
Oh, there you go. All right, we got Terry Foster locked and loaded. He'll be out there at a match this year. We'll make sure we get that coordinated with the Northern Guard.
I want like a red one. I don't want blue because there's too much blue. I want like a red or a yellow one.
Like the Rouge.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll make. I can make that happen, Terry.
Okay.
We'll get that locked up. We'll get you out there with the Northern Guard. And
I'm not gonna burn myself, am I?
No. They take care of it. It's all safe. It's all safe. So we'll get you squared away out there, man. It'll be fun. No, it will be a lot of fun. And USL, man, Terry, the little club that was, the idea of 5 guys kicking in a couple $1,000, man. Look at it now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's a big deal, and they, at some point, I would like them to have their own little stadium somewhere in Detroit. Hamtramck is fine; it's a fine community, but I heard that some people wanted to build a little stadium in Midtown, and that it would make it in Detroit, and that they would be close to a couple of the bars where they would hang out before the game and then walk over to the game from there. So it was close, but it was beyond Midtown, close to the Lodge Freeway, but that never happened.
Interesting. Yeah, I'd be curious to get the little stories out there. And speaking of stories, you can vote on our YouTube chat poll, Storytime with T-Foss, the time he went to the gay club with his friend in Grand Rapids, or the Chris Webber timeout dance at the Final Four. You can imagine the gay club story was pretty popular with the people in our little chat that we're doing. It does have a 66% to 34% edge, so it's looking like that's the way it'll go. Yeah, it is. People want to see. What about this too? Northern Guard came for Terry's head on Twitter. Like, you guys have had your back and forth, but see, that's the kind of person you are, though. You'll put that stuff aside and you'll be out there.
The people that come after you on Twitter, Northern Guard, they're ignorant. You've never been to a game. I've been to probably a dozen games. Now, what I did was they got pissed because I said, which is the next sports team to win a championship? And when I talk about professional sports teams in Detroit, I'm talking about Red Wings, Tigers, Pistons, or Lions. I'm not talking about Detroit City. It's not a major sports team, professional sports team to me. It has its crowd, it has its traditions, it has whatever. But and in case in point, won a championship, right? I must have missed it. I didn't see the parade down Woodward.
Well, it's not the Detroit Rams, Terry.
Huh?
It's not the Detroit Rams.
You're more likely to have a Detroit Rams victory parade on Woodward than you are Detroit City. So that's why they're pissed at me. And they say, he doesn't know the thing about our club. He's never been in there. Or he's never been to a game and all this stuff. I've been to a game. I have 2 damn scarves. I've talked to some of the people at games. Y'all must not have been there when I was there. I've seen them play at Cass Tech, Oakland University, and the indoor soccer facility in Pontiac. I forget the
Ultimate Soccer.
Yeah. So I've seen them play in 3 damn places. Have not been to Hamtramck.
Well, that's going to change this year. You'll be out there with them.
I'll be there.
And you're going to let off the smoke bomb, and everything's going to be cool.
Right.
Now, I will say this, Terry. USL is a league. Teams have $75 million soccer-specific stadiums. Mm-hmm. They have $1 million plus payrolls. Like, it's real, Terry. Like, it's as real as it gets, man.
As opposed to a real professional sports team where your 5th string center makes $1 million. I'm just saying.
No, but Terry, it is legit, and we'll get you out there, man. We will.
No,
we'll
it's
get you out
fun.
there, and you'll have a good time. So yeah, it'll be. Cody says I may have restarted a Twitter beef. No, I don't think so, because Terry will be out there. He'll be out there and let the smoke go. He's a reasonable man. So, we'll get everybody from Woodward out there.
Okay, sounds good.
Sawyer could even go to Foaling Warehouse beforehand if he wants.
Oh, that's right.
And, and pluck a Natter Day out of the mystery beer vending machine.
Oh yeah, I'm up for it. So I need to go to a game this year too.
Yeah, you do, man. We'll get Sawyer out there too.
Sawyer might play.
Sam Flannel will wear a flannel out there in July.
Oh yeah, I would love to go to a game this year. I've never seen Detroit City FC, but this year, now that I'm working with you, Neil, perfect time to do it.
Yeah, we'll get you out there. Will you? We have a short sleeve flannel, or will you go full on sleeveless flannel?
I'll probably go long sleeve and open the chest and wear a t-shirt under it. You know,
let the taco meat breathe a little bit.
He's gonna wear a jersey. He'll wear a jersey.
I would suggest the keeper kit. It's pretty fire, especially that purple one. That purple one is very, very dope.
Oh, those jerseys looked amazing. I'm not even gonna lie. I really like the looks of those jerseys.
Yeah, you know what else is amazing? Gypsy Vodka is amazing. Took exploring 50 different formulas, countless taste tests, but Gypsy Vodka is the best tasting, smoothest vodka on the market. Look, we have all the little taglines we can say here. Here's the bottom line, real world application. Saturday night, I pour it in the glass. Sunday morning, Sawyer pours it in with his Bloody Mary. He's Team Gypsy and his Bloody Mary on Sunday. He's getting ready to watch NASCAR. He's getting ready to watch the NASCAR lottery. He makes up a Bloody Mary, puts the Gypsy in there. You guys have tweeted pictures to us as well. You're rolling with the Gypsy Vodka now. We're starting a revolution here, the vodka revolution. It is gluten-free. It's corn distilled. Also, 6 times they use artesian spring water, cool-looking bottle, all that stuff. But the bottom line for me is it's just good vodka. So, if you're looking for a Michigan-made product, they're making that Gypsy Vodka up there in Petoskey. Stand solid with the Michigan-made products. Go to the store. Ask for it by name. Say, hey, I'm here for Gypsy Vodka. They'll get you a bottle, and you will be on your way. Gypsy Vodka, as always, drink responsibly.
Hi, I'm Kay Cunningham. I'm proud to partner with Hall Financial, the mortgage company known for 5-star service. Don't just take my word for it. Check out their 5,000 5-star reviews for yourself. Go to callhallfirst.com and get started with your 5-star experience today.
Think you're a big shot?
Oh, excuse me, it goes down!
Think you can make the big shot?
Washington fires and hits!
Woodward Sports wants to send you to the finals for college basketball April 2nd through the 4th in New Orleans. That's right, you and a friend in the Big Easy. We'll take care of the airfare, hotel, and tickets to see the finals for college basketball. Listen Monday through Friday to the Morning Woodward Show. Big D Energy. And the bottom line for your chance to qualify. If you can make the big shot, you and a friend are getting out of the cold and to New Orleans.
Got it!
Keep listening and watching for your next chance to win. Powered by Planet Fitness, Syntron, and the Sports Marketing Agency.
And it's over! Anything can happen in March!
Final segment of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Sam Flannel, Sawyer, and of course, T-Foss, Terry Foster in the house, Detroit sports media icon. But bigger than that, the proprietor of Storytime with T-Foss. And checking the YouTube chat poll, the people want to hear the choices were the Chris Webber timeout dance that you guys made in New Orleans, or the time you went to the gay club with a friend in Grand Rapids. The time you went to the gay club with a friend in Grand Rapids was 63% of the vote. So as we do on brand,
I'm surprised that they blew it out that.
Yeah, Terry, as we do on brand, choose your own adventure. The people have chosen. Terry, tell us about the time you were at the gay club in Grand Rapids with your friend.
I used to work at the Grand Rapids Press, and I did something you're not supposed to do. I was an editorial, but one of my best friends was Hope, who was a sales rep. And so Hope, very pretty woman, now and then liked to go to the gay club because guys weren't pawing all over her stuff. So we went to the gay club. So we're hanging out, doing a little dancing and stuff, and then I just saw a horrid look on Hope's face. And she's looking like, oh, my God. Her former teacher was there at the gay club getting like a massage from some dude. So she was mortified. Then she got mortified again looking. One of her clients was there who was supposed to be married and had 4 kids, but he's hanging out the gay club and having some guy. I think they were kissing and stuff. So she was mortified. Now here was my moment where I was like, holy smokes, what's going on here? We were supposed to get drinks and someone was going to buy us drinks. And they showed us this board of all these drinks with weird names. I said, wow, what's the most popular drink up there? And the dude said, oh, you should get a cum explosion. And I'm like, what? I said, no way. He said, dude, just give me a beer.
So T-Foss got the beer.
I don't care what kind of beer it is. I am not getting that drink.
Yeah.
And then Hope, I think she didn't want to go back again because she was afraid of seeing her teachers again and clients there at the gay club. But that was it. We had fun. We danced, had a good time and stuff. I don't think anyone tried to pick me up. So that was it. That was cool.
So that was the time. T-Foss, what a life you lead, man.
It is. And I'm glad I got beer, too.
You did get
tell
the
them
beer.
what was in that drink.
So, but they didn't have a mystery beer vending machine, though, at the gay club.
They did not. Nope. Not like Foling Warehouse.
Absolutely.
Oh, and by the way, you know what the big debate is about? Should you drink Russian vodka? No. You get gypsy vodka.
Michigan
which
made.
Last time I checked is not in Russia. It's in Michigan.
It is.
Right.
Out of Petoskey, Terry.
Out of Petoskey.
And people were talking about that. Some reaction to the story time with T-Foss, as there usually is. You guys are pretty funny. Machiavelli sucks to go. Why do women do that? I assume why do women go to the gay club? And Clomsaw says to get left alone, which is true.
That's pretty much.
Guys can be creepy.
She got pawed on a lot.
Guys are pretty creepy generally.
Now the great thing was I was still allowed to paw on her because I was in her group. So we ended up kind of making out a little bit, and then nobody else approached.
So there it was.
Mm-hmm. And she was the prettiest lady there.
What's a Monday night like for T-Foss?
It's pretty boring. Monday's my shutdown day. Tonight, I'm ashamed to say this, but I do watch The Bachelor.
Really?
I do. And I just finished my Game of Thrones rewatch. So I'm all done with that. I saw the big war last night, and Arya stabbed the Night King. So I'm not going to watch the last 2 episodes because they stunk.
Yeah, those sucked.
Now, Sawyer, you're Team Bachelor too?
Oh, it's a great time. I mean, in the fraternity house, we had a drinking game. You know, Bachelor in Paradise is my go-to. You get real sauced up watching that show.
How does the Bachelor drinking game work?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think I have it saved on my phone, but we had like a notes document that we went through and like made rules where it was like you got to drink if somebody cries, or it's like 2 drinks if somebody says I love you. You know, like 1-on-1 date, you got to do something. You know, if somebody gets in a fight, you got to do something else. Get you real sauced up.
Man,
I live tweeted a Bachelor show because you know guys always say how much they hate it. I live tweeted the Bachelor show and gained 800 followers in the hour.
I mean, back when I was younger, I used to watch it with my mom on Monday nights when I had nothing better to do, and I'd get invested. I mean, if it's on, you'll get invested. I'm not lying. I won't cover it up.
But they're smart. They take it off during Monday Night Football. Obviously, they don't play. And as soon as Monday Night Football is over, here comes The Bachelor.
Here comes The Bachelor. Steve Brown says this whole last 2 seasons of Game of Thrones sucked. Okay, so there's that. Clomsauce asked a question. Terry, how's your wife feel about Storytime?
She doesn't know about it.
Because she doesn't watch the show, right?
Right. She's at work, normally. But she's already heard the stories. Because sometimes we're just, you know, laying up in bed watching TV, and I'll just tell her the story.
Dom Rivera says, what? We all need to know about Sawyer's fraternity. I've never heard of guys doing a Bachelor drinking game. Ha, ha, ha. You got to track down the rules and let everybody know, Sawyer.
Yeah. We had a decent amount of games. I can track some down. It's pretty fun. See what we got.
All right. Sawyer, appreciate your efforts today. Sam Flannel as well. T-Foss, great running with you, like it always is. Right. We'll see how the rest of the week shakes out. I may be out Wednesday and Thursday, depending on the Oakland's. You know, it's that time, tournament time. You never know what's going to happen.
Right.
I would say there's a pretty good chance that I won't be in Wednesday or Thursday. So we'll be in touch and everything. We'll get it all figured out, though, because we always do.
Beautiful.
And, hey, we'll be back together again soon, T.
Can't wait.
Can't wait as
exciting.
well. Appreciate everybody watching, listening, however you interacted with the show. Thanks a lot for doing it. My name is Neil Rule. Thanks again, everybody. Talk to you soon. Well, see you later.